Hey, Quatra. How you doing? Just another day living the work at home dream? Heck yeah. I assume you're not being ironic and that actually sucks. I wouldn't know because my day job is one that you can't really work home from. Well, you see, they want you to be in the building when you sell people for stuff. Oh yeah, technically yesterday was technically the last day of my 2 weeks off work because today and tomorrow are my normal days off, but hey, still off work till Friday. And yeah, I hope your work days are going well. Sorry about the ramble. 27C sitting at your computer, so a bit warm, I'll say. It's like 18 here, and that's considered a warm spring day. Hey, Icky. One more honking noise than you'd expect. Much honking. 83 Fahrenheit. I know some people use that temperature scale, but it's meaningless to me. Just give Icky a quick shout out. You're welcome. Oh yeah, I noticed you didn't stream yesterday as far as I'm aware. I think your normal stream days are Tuesday, but yep. I think you actually might have said something about that anyway. No Jayla and Tech Heck with backup games made you think, screw it, next week. Fair enough. Oh yeah, speaking of, Thick of Thieves, Thick as Thieves, I can say words. The thief-like co-op game from the creator of from War Inspector. I will not say he's the creator of anything because, well, we all know the quote by now. Icky, you wish you hadn't run out of ice cream Oreos yesterday. This would be a much better day for it. Yeah, that's always the thing. You run out of ice cream exactly when you need ice cream. Okay, we are running short on time. Oh no, we're not really running short on time. We just don't. I've just been faffing about a bit too much. Yeah, I was going to say something, but I've completely forgotten what. Oh yeah, switch the webcam on. For those who don't know what I meant by the quote, because I suppose I should give context just in case. Basically, there's an article that said people often credit one person with making one games, and then promptly said, says Warren Spector, creator of Deus Ex and Thief and all the other games he's known for working on, but did not make on his own because that would be impossible. Impossible. For a AAA budget, well, even a lot of people hating on Figure Thieves for its settings. What a weird thing to review. Bombing 4. Yeah, I've heard Mina the Hollower, another very cool game that's coming out soon. It's been getting a lot of backlash because it's got a lot of accessibility settings. Because Yacht Club Games like to do that sort of thing. Like with Hollow Knight, they didn't just include a bunch of accessibility settings. They also had like gender sliders and pronoun settings for every single character in the game, which is pretty awesome. Anyways, how's everyone doing? I thought about doing the Tiefling cosplay today, but Icky, now you're wondering if this review bomb is something else in disguise? Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, I googled Vickers Thieves briefly to see if there are any reviews for it out, and it mostly seems to be like the only real major criticism is what's out is extremely short. Icky, you're good. Finished your in-office working for the next week. You're about to have pizza. Heck yeah. Harby Brie. Brie is good. I had venison burger for lunch. That was good. I might actually go on a brief shopping trip tomorrow because I forgot to get steak and I wanted to sort of commemorate my last day off with a steak. So I might go to the supermarket just to get a steak tomorrow. You know, if I can get myself early enough, there won't be any crowds. Well, not crowds, it's kind of quiet in the middle of the week, but you know what I mean. I had a package delivered with my new work trousers. Like, well, I say work trousers, they're just a normal pair of trousers, but they're comfy and just generally, you know, sort of smart enough, I guess that's the word, for using for work. So finally I'll have a comfy pair of cargo trousers for when I'm in the bakery. And yeah. Quattro, you never heard of it. Yeah, it's an indie game. Like, aside from having Warren Spector working on it, who, for those who don't know, did a lot of work on Deus Ex and the original Thief and other sort of immersive sims. And it's basically co-op inspired by the original Thief games, which I'm extremely excited about because, well, you know me. If when the chips are down, I'm going to roll a rogue. Like, Dishonored was sort of a spiritual successor, but like you're playing as an assassin rather than a thief, so the whole sneak in and steal everything that's not nailed down, it's just not there. The nearest thing I've had to scratch that itch has, I guess, been Metal Gear Solid 5. Which, to be fair, was a game where you could sneak in and, you know, you could steal their supplies, you could steal their vehicles, their weapons, and if you felt lucky, you could even steal their guards. Okay, 10 minutes in, let's get this game going. should be being picked. There we go. Okay, so these kids here are basically giving explaining how to pass the rocks we need to get through. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through it and take notes. So the premise here is basically a sailor learned how to get to the rocks and sort of encoded how into a children's song, a series of children's songs he wrote. Yeah, exactly, Icky. Figure Speed is a Thievery game with Warren Spectre on staff, the man who formed one of Deus Ex's core tenets on from how bad he was at stealth. Diesel times 2. Okay, is diesel clockwise or anti-clockwise? Okay, it's clockwise. East past 3 to north. Around 3 times. Wait for the waves. And north to stars. Yeah, that's right. The first Deus Ex. And as Icky says, he also had a lighter role on the sequel, which wasn't as well received. Okay, so that's the first part. Right, I somehow did this as a kid, worked this out as a kid, so I can work it out now. Quattro, you thought Human Revolution was good? Oh yeah, Human Revolution was pretty good. To be clear, I was talking about Invisible War. Faced west and run past 3 swirls. Then round 3 times. You always forgot Invisible War existed, don't we all? South. And then 1 swirl west. Round thrice, wait for the waves. And then go south. Okay, and the third one. Okay, so south through 2 swirls, then circle twice. West, then 6 to the north. Okay. Icky, your favourite quote about Invisible War is it's an 85% rated shooter that was not a worthy sequel to the original. Said by Harvey Swift, director of Invisible War. That's quite a thing. I suppose sometimes a game's good, but it's just not a decent sequel, you know? Anyways, I think that's all the notes we need, so let's go the right way. You know what, I might as well just use a void. Okay, there we go. Now I don't need to worry about random encounters on the way there. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so north past 2 swells, circle twice. Okay, so north. Past 2 swells. East past 3 to north. Okay. That doesn't seem right. Okay, did I miss something here? Okay, I guess it. So I need to go around twice. Nope. I think this is going to take me a while. Okay, north past 2 swells. So go around here twice. Oh! So go around there twice, and then it's past 3 east, and head to the north. Okay, east, then past 3 to the north. 1, 2, 3. Go around it 3 times and wait for the waves to stop. And I'm at the start. Okay, west past 3 swells. Then need to go around it 3 times. then go south and 1 swirl west. Oh no, I've made a terrible mistake. Well, let's try that again. And then the boat got sandwiched between 2 rocks for a month. Exactly. Oh no. Come on, let me out. Well, I guess I live in this world now. Okay, I could get through there before, but now I can't. There we go. Okay, and then past 3 of them to the north. And Trois. Around 3 times and then go north. And we're at the star. Okay, so from here west past 3 swirls. You know, I really do actually miss the Ever Given memes. Three times south and then 1 swirl west. Wait, never eat shredded wheat. Okay, this way. Three times and then south. And we're at the moon. Okay, south twice, through 2 swirls. Circle twice and go west. Okay, go west once and then 6 north. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and finally, circle twice and go north. Wait, am I going the wrong way? Round. Oh, and here's that boss guy we're meant to defeat. Yep, I've equipped the trident, so let's unleash his one weakness. Okay, increase attack. Activate a watery shield. He's protected by a force field. Oh, we'll see about that. Okay, I need to actually use the trident. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's break the summons out. $884 damage. Nice, nice. Okay, I need to do some healing. Yep, just casually do quad figure damage, I guess. Hey, Tiara. Yep, it has indeed been a while. How is? Good. Your days off are just odd now. Fair enough. Okay, this could get a bit hairy. So I'm just going to blow up the there we go. Level 31. Oh, hey Maxting. Thanks for the posture and hydrate. Be there in a moment when you're out of bad purgatory. Fair enough. Yeah, I've been sitting still for 40 minutes, so I definitely needed that. Let's just top everyone's HP up a bit. Okay. Hey, Maxting. So I just made it through a boss, and we're about to visit Lemuria. Lovely this time of year, I hear. Lots of boats, very similar to the one we're in. Yep, exactly. Boat. This boat's well. Well, anyway, this is an island full of secrets, so I'm sure they'll be happy to see us. Super happy. Why, that was Synergy, wasn't it? Are they adepts? Yep, it's like Psychic Atlantis. Who are you? Are you the ones who defeated Poseidon? Yep. That's quite something. Who are you that could defeat that Leviathan? If you're strong enough to defeat Poseidon, you're too dangerous to enter Lemuria. Okay, that's a Hobson's choice. The King's orders are clear. We cannot grant you entry. King? Who's your king? His Highness, King Hydros, of course. His Majesty has ruled over Lemuria for centuries. King Hydros has decreed that Lemuria must be kept safe from dangerous outsiders. Maxting, if we're dangerous enough to defeat the Leviathan, are you in any position to deny me entry? Yeah, that's a good point, actually. You say that we are dangerous, but do you include me as well? Piers. I do like that thing where they have two text boxes on the screen at once to show two people talking at the same time. Did you join them in battle against Poseidon? Impossible. Everyone knows you possess great courage, but you're still a mere Lemurian. Such comments do us all a great disservice. I battled fiercely alongside my friends. Oh yeah, so Chiara, you get odd days off now, Wednesdays and Thursdays. Oh hey, the same days as me. Leave our landing to me. You have my word that we shall create no problems during our stay. Will you not permit us to enter? Yeah, apparently the Lemurians kind of don't think that highly of themselves. Wild. Piers, I know you're a man of your word, but the King's orders must stand. This is just what monarchists really believe, you know? You understand that we can't simply ignore the King's orders, don't you, Piers? What is King Hydros doing? So, you people really take your king seriously, don't you? When Americans visit. Insolent pup, do not dishonor the king of Lemuria. We are peaceful, but quick to anger, even though we literally just said we're wimps. Maxting, maybe it's inspired by or in the same vein as the me from Toward the Terror, who are physically weaker and often disabled. Yeah, or like in HG Worlds The Time Machine, where humanity basically split into the Morlocks, who were physically very strong, and the just like elf-like creatures who are basically herd animals. Pup? I must be twice your age. Who are you calling a pup? Okay, dude, you know they live like centuries. You wish to see Lemuria? Yeah, yet you know so little of us. I'm far older than you. Show respect. Yep, the Eloy, that's it. Older than me? Inconceivable. I'm old as balls. Actually, Craden, these two are perhaps older than all of you combined. Babby must have spoken of this to you. In Lemuria, time passes quite slowly. Well, I suppose I recall something of that sort or another, maybe. But to imagine for a moment that these two gentlemen are much older than I am, it's a bit much. When someone my age assumes I'm, Gen Z. But perhaps I was rude, and I hope you accept my apology. My ignorance misled me. Well, just as long we're clear on that. But if your fighting is as skilled as your wordplay, then perhaps you aren't so dangerous to us. Agreed. Perhaps His Majesty will provide an exception in their case. Yes, we will provide an exception because you look very polite. King Hydros might be willing to reverse his order if we confer with him, wouldn't he? We shall speak with him at once. King Hydros has been seeking news from beyond the Sea of Time. He will want to see you. Wait here. How long do you think we'll be waiting? Good point. Time means little to most Lemurians. Mere moments to us would seem like a lifetime to outsiders. You seem young to me, and yet you're probably an old man among your people. I would imagine you have probably done enough waiting in your lifetime. King Hydros instructed us to be kind to the elderly at all times. They seem trustworthy enough. Shall we let them in? I can see no reason not to. We wouldn't get in trouble, will we? I'll be with them. Now, please, let me walk the streets of my home once more. I beseech you. Then we place our trust in each of you. You may enter, but don't do anything rash. If you cause any trouble, we'll hunt you down and exact swift and terrible vengeance. Do we have your word? Ooh, finally! What could be waiting for me in Lemuria? I can't wait another moment. Oh, hush. I'll keep a close eye on them. You have nothing to fear. Very well, Piers. We place our faith in you, then enter freely and peacefully. You must already be aware of this, but you are not permitted to enter the palace. If the king were to find out about this, we'd be in big trouble. Don't worry, I won't let that happen. Is this Hydros really so fearsome? Fearsome isn't the right word. King Hydros has lived longer than anyone. He is most wise. While everyone respects him and holds him in great reverence, it would be a mistake to call it fear. I certainly do not fear him. The king, He what? You will understand once you meet the king yourself. That doesn't matter. Now let's go. To Lemuria, the city you've all been longing to see. Well, here we go. I cannot remember the last time we had visitors to Lemuria. Not in a great while, certainly. More of the same today and every day. Nothing around here ever changes. Okay, they don't really have much in the way of differing fashion, do they? Lemuria has no disease, no war. Anyone who saw it would think it is a paradise. And yet, all who come to our city seek to leave soon after arriving. I too wish to leave. Exactly, Maxting. Time to work on the weekly stabbing. I haven't been surprised in ages. I don't know what I'd do if something happened. No one in Maria feels any passion for anything. They're lazier than a cat in a sunbeam. Says the literal cat in a sunbeam. In Lemuria, we do not grow old. It must seem quite odd to those from the outside world. I've aged so slowly I no longer fear death, but at the same time I have no motivation at all. Drinking from this spring restores vigor and vitality. Want a sip? These turtles have lived in the spring forever. It must be the water that does it. Do you wish to test your luck at the spring of Lemuria? Go ahead, test your luck. Oh my god, we can use the lucky medals. Let's do this. Okay, I've got 13 lucky medals. Let's do this. Ooh, I got a summon. I can now summon Eclipse. To summon Eclipse, 3 Jupiter and 2 Mercury standby gen are needed. Okay, that's a good start. Aegis Shield. Raises evade. Maxing. Amaze, amaze, amaze. Now, if I recall correctly, hitting animals actually improves or changes what you get. Ooh, sword. Hestia blade. Hey Neo Gats, how's it going? Do you want a shout out? Okay. Do. There we go. You streaming more Slime Rancher 2 today? It's been a busy day rearranging your office to get the aircon out for summer. You're tired but successful? Heck yeah. Mondays only. Okay. Fireman's pole. Wait. Is that literally... Okay, that's good. Erebus armor. Restores HP. Minerva Helm. Nice. Waiting. Damn it. Well. Well, Psy Crystals are useful.
palace. Brioche, look over here. This palace is magnificent.
Okay, so enjoyers of TSMR will be pleased to know I've changed up how I do this, so now this will be happening multiple times a stream because I'm just refilling my teacup constantly. So that way I constantly have a warm cup of tea instead of one that's just gone cold.
There's so much treasure buried here that you could dig almost anywhere and find something. So why does anyone dig?
Okay, I guess I'm gonna do some digging. Next thing, you HRT yourself today? Heck yeah.
Where are you going, Brioche? Let's take a longer look around.
Maxting, meds taken, fast broken. Next it's coffee and teeth. You lose track if you don't make a checklist. Yeah, same. If I don't remind myself, sweet breakfast, then immediately brush my teeth, then take a shower. I usually don't do this until noon.
This place is remarkable. Truly remarkable.
Weren't we told to avoid the palace?
Oi oi, who goes there? I've not seen you in Lemuria before. Wait a moment. You must be the travellers who arrived with Piers. Is your name Brioche perchance? Piers? You mean Piers the Lost One? Have I earned a title in my absence? Well, worry not. Piers is lost no more.
Icky, please do not consume the teeth.
Ang, tasty teeth.
Problem is, about with your teeth, it's kind of hard to find anything hard enough to bite into them.
I seek counsel with King Hydros. Has His Highness been told of my return? Well, it was sent, but I don't know if it was reached the king. What do you mean? Lord Conservator is meeting with His Highness as we speak.
Yeah, teeth. That one Tumblr comic about the girl who wakes up and finds some sort of like demon things have given her pointy teeth. Rewired my brain slightly. Maxting. Teeth. Bangs counter in time. Oh god, keep turning this into the H-Bomber Guy stream.
Not Conservator. He's a liberal. What's wrong, Piers? You don't look pleased to hear that name? Creighton, what do you think of what you have seen of Lemuria?
Maxting, when you think of consuming teeth, you always think of Fallen London.
It's a magnificent city. Or do you mean the castle? Both are magnificent. There is much magnificence, you know. And you, Brioche, do you agree?
Maxting. Creighton, what do you think of what you've seen of Lemuria?
Well, it's tiny, but pretty big. Any newcomer to our town would doubtless feel the same at first. In ages past, Lemuria was a far lovelier, more grand, and more lively city. His Highness the King tells of days gone by of a more brilliant Lemuria, long before my birth.
Oh my god, Piers is a millennial.
Over the countless years, our people have lost vigour, enthusiasm, and creativity.
Yeah, I think this was basically foreshadowing for my life.
Lemuria has fallen into slow collapse, a city that has lost its spark.
Maxting, honestly, what this Lemuria makes you think of is Brennan G, though. Brennan G.
Lemuria, as you see it, is only a shadow of the city of legend. If only I had a chance to see the city in all its splendour. But how does Conservator figure in? King Hydros believes that our decay is related in some way to alchemy.
Brennus 2, home of the Brennan G. Brennan G. Oh wait, is that from Lex, or am I thinking of something else?
Alchemy?
Oh yeah, Lex. Basically, Farscape with half the budget and twice the horniness. Exactly, softcore sci-fi comedy horror.
King Hydros wants to find a way to stop the ruin of Lemuria. If there were anything we could do to help stop it, we would. But the senators are unwilling to take action. They're stubborn and they fear any change. Senate? What's a Senate? The Senate is a group of elders who determine policy in Lemuria. Lord Conservator holds the highest office in the Senate. The Senate usually opposes any new ideas or proposal introduced before it. Word for arrival will never reach the king as long as Conservator has his ear.
Maxting, the Brennan G were warrior poets that hide, but when they discovered how to become biologically immortal, they became risk averse and stopped doing anything, and eventually their passivity probably is what killed them. Yeah, I think the main character we know is basically an undead guy who used to be one of them. But then he tried to do a Star Wars against the main villain and got raised as a undead assassin. He's cool as frick.
And his conversations with the king are incredibly long. We have no choice but to wait patiently here. Why don't we spend our time looking around Lemuria until then?
Well, off we go.
The king will be thrilled to hear his trusted Piers has returned. I'd heard Piers was back, but I didn't believe it until now. You seem much more confident, Piers. Everyone has been noticing it.
Yeah, plot twist. Piers is a peer. Max Sting, they were all going to die anyway. He just thought flying anti-shoots against an unstoppable foe was the best way to die than cowardice and acceptance and pleading for death. Ah. Oh yeah. It's been a while since I saw it.
The king is holding council with Lord Conservator right now. It might be a while before you can see him. How much longer will Conservator be in there? They've been talking for ages now.
Can I talk to the bee? I guess not. I should be able to talk to the bee. Life never changes here in Lemuria. It can get rather dull, you'll find. Sometimes I think the buildings fall apart faster than we age.
I ought to feel surprised to see outsiders here, but I can't remember how to be surprised. Long ago, a man named Lumper drifted out to our island. That was quite a surprise. Someone else came with him, but he fled so quickly. What was his name again? You the travellers came here with Piers?
Yep.
I'm so sorry it's taken me so long to visit, Uncle. Piers, you alive? Yes, I've managed to survive against a great many trials. What a fascinating coincidence. We've stumbled across Piers' uncle's house.
Max Sting, him and their squadron, his fellow Gen Z, Brun and G flew their ships against his divine shadow and got all shot down with a little show for it, but his divine shadow liked the idea of the last of Brun and G serving as his undead assassin, so he raised him from the dead with black blood-like substance and sent him against his world to kill on his behalf, rendering unstoppable by HDS. Yeah, basically sufficiently advanced technology that looked like magic. Kind of like the Force in Star Trek, which is actually midichlorians. Or maybe not. It's not made clear.
I must thank you all for looking after my nephew. This is Brioche and Craden. They are my friends and have aided me tremendously. We won't bother introducing the woman. If my sister's going to hear how timid young Piers has become a mighty warrior. Where is my mother? We've been so busy since we arrived that I haven't had the chance to see her.
Oh, she's dead, isn't she?
Now as I think about it, this place is a mess. What happened? Mother is always so neat.
Max Sting, I said the Force in Star Trek. Was that on purpose, or am I having a little troll as a treat? No, that's completely correct. The Force in Star Trek. Max Sting, Abrams, what have you done now?
No, she hasn't fallen ill again, has she? There is still illness in Lemuria? My mother was born with a weak heart. Piers, I'm sorry. Your return comes too late.
Neo, as your high school teacher once said to you, may the Force be with you, Trekkie. Yeah, I think what you need to do is two well-known... Basically, you need to have two well-known references and something very obscure. That way, it's clear you're sort of deliberately mixing them, but also shows off your cred, so it's clearly you're not being entirely serious. Except to someone who,
just isn't as clever as they think. I noticed a lot of everything all over the place is booze. Maxting, so she died with a weak heart too, eh? After the tidal wave washed you to sea, your mother suddenly fell ill. The shock of you losing you was too great for her poor heart. She held out hope for your safe return until the very end. Perhaps your mother gave herself up to ensure your survival. Okay. Dude, you can't say that. Maxting, it's like Commander Adama said, you can't take the sky from me. Now you're getting it. What you actually need to say is Commander Azima from Star Trek. Okay, it's like Robbie the Robot from Space 1999 said. Bite my shiny metal ass. Maxting, no, here's from Buck Rogers, of course. Does that not sound like your mother? Okay, Pierce's uncle's a prick. Where is she now? She rests in the cemetery now. Check the headstones. You'll find her. Biddy, what's about Fry? Fry from Star Trek? What's he got to do with this? Neo, you need a good troll face for moments like this. I think it's been a few years, but I think Emma Watson of all people can actually do a perfect troll face expression. Well, off he goes. What should we do, Brioche? Should we follow Piers? No, give him some time. You're right. Piers probably needs some time alone right now. Oh yeah, I wonder if there's any gin in here. Here we are. Lemuria. Head to Lemuria, but take the west path instead of the east. Find the dock. Use cyclone on the southernmost leaf. Okay, I'm not entirely sure. Wait. I asked that you leave Piers to his mourning for now. Now he's struggling with the loss of his mother. He needs time. You came to Lemuria to learn more of alchemy, did you not? I suspected as much. Piers was right to bring you here. Piers told me his secret, the mission he was given by His Highness the King. Even had the tidal wave not carried Piers off, he would have left us. Such was his fate. You look confused. Piers told you about this, did he not? Nope. Curious. I can't understand why he would do that. If Lord Conservo had not led the Senate to oppose him, he would have left sooner. I wonder what news Pierce has brought with him. Either way, I do know why he has brought you here. Brioche, don't tell me that he hasn't at least told you that much. No, sorry. Did Pierce tell you nothing before bringing you here to Lemuria? Unfortunately, I know little more than that. While Pierce confronts his sorrow over the loss of his mother, you have some time. I shall write you a letter, so you can see Lunper. Lunper has locked himself in his tower and rarely comes out, but if I send him this, he'll see you. Burb. I appreciate that they've just got like a pigeon post system up. All I need is a bird to carry it to him in his tower. You know what believes, like a post-apocalypse with like robot birds serving as a messenger system, which you know, somehow managed to survive the apocalypse. There, you should be able to see him now. Okay, guess we're gonna do some digging. And herb. Okay, so head to Lemuria, but take the west path instead of the east. Find the dock and use Cyclone on the southwesternmost leaf. Okay, I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Lost already, Brioche? That's the way to the boondock. You can't want to return already. We've only just gotten to Lemuria. We can't leave yet. There's still so much to see. How old am I again? I quit counting after I turned 200, and that was long ago. King Hydros is far older even than I am. How old is he? I have no idea what that voice was meant to be, but we'll stick with it. I've never been outside Lemuria. I don't know what the rest of the world is like. If there weren't laws prohibiting us from leaving, I'd have be gone in an instant. Who knows what wonders lie across the sea of time? I'd love to know, but I can't stand places with little culture and no advanced civilization. Now that Pierce has returned, maybe he'll share some of his tales of the outside world with me. The Senate passed a law that prohibits us from leaving, but Pierce was carried out to sea by a tidal wave. He can't be blamed for that. Oh, we'll see about that. Chimkin! If it weren't for the people in the castle, the Lemurians would probably let themselves starve. Make the plant grow.
See what we got here then. Cow?
Lemurians are so lazy that they make me look like a dynamo, and they live so long.
Okay, cyclone. Nuts! Okay, I'm out of carry space. Okay, who needs some extra defense? Jenna. Maxting, how long ago did Pia's mother die? Was it short enough time ago he couldn't have had her last moments with her if he hadn't been arrested, imprisoned, and while in prison had his guidance crystal stolen? Well, he said when he was swept away by a tidal wave, and the tidal wave happened at the start of the game, so... presumably it wasn't, she didn't actually die that long ago. So he should go back and beat up the people who had him arrested. Yeah, maybe. To be fair, they were pricks. Maybe I should try digging in front of all of these trees just in case. Oh, okay. Rusty sword. I need a merchant.
Are you kids Pia's travelling companions? The door's broken, I'm afraid. But I opened up a window just above the door. Sorry about this, but you're allowed to travel through there.
Okay, I need to find somewhere I can sell my excess gear. Okay, I don't need all these oil drops. Okay, I have no idea which way I'm meant to be going now. Oh, down.
Honestly, I'm amazed that anyone can travel so far across the world in this age. Say, Piers isn't with you. Why not?
His mother passed away. He's gone to visit her grave.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he literally forgot.
Of course, his mother. He loved her dearly. A terrible loss. It must be hard on him. Well, Piers may not be here, but we still have much to discuss. If Piers brought you, you must be working to break the seal on alchemy, right?
Yep.
Ah, Piers has done quite well in finding you. What mission could the good King Hardress have assigned to Piers? What? Piers has told you nothing of his mission? Really? So you actually have nothing at all to do with alchemy?
Our parents were kidnapped by the Fire Clan, far to the north. We're only firing the lighthouse beacons to gain their freedom.
King Hydrus told me that Venus and Mercury have been ignited once again. Was that your doing? I'm afraid I know nothing of any Northern Fire Clan.
Maxting, the Fire Kingdom attacked? Yeah, in the first game. They were like, and basically, the siblings of the two, people we had to kill as the final boss are also antagonists here.
But that doesn't explain you, sir. You're clearly not related to these two. What are your goals?
Trade and join on this quest on behalf of Lord Babby of Tulby.
Babby? I only know of one man named Babby, but it couldn't... Master Lunper. The Babby we speak of is the same man you knew long ago. Ah, so he's still out there, living in the outside world?
Living might be the wrong word for it.
Well, that might not be the most accurate way of putting it. Most accurate? My, you certainly have an odd way of turning a phrase.
Lord Babby of Tulby, or B bracket Lord Ba plus Toll, the close bracket. I'm not clever enough for mathematics jokes.
He was living, yes, until recently, that is. So, Babby passed away, but only recently, you say? When he finally ran out of his mystic draft, his spirit began to wane. And I no longer know anyone in the world outside.
It was that or reducing the fraction. True. But aren't you Lumper, the righteous thief?
I was called that once long ago. Why'd you ask?
I'll bet there's at least one person in the outside world whom you still know.
Who would that be?
There's a town called Lunpat in the north of Angara. A man named Donpa lives there.
I settled that village, and Donpa? He's my son. Now your grandson, Donpa, rules over your village. Rules? Rules is a little sounding word.
I can't believe the thief's grandson's become a cop. but it's an accurate one. Lunpa, the Domper, is an evil thief who has caused much trouble in Angara.
What's become of my son? How could he permit such a thing to happen? Master Lunper? Do you have any idea how Lord Donper is? He is as I am, an old man. He may even be older than I.
If this news outrages you, why don't you go and set the Domper straight?
If only I could.
Is this the only reason we're here? To bring news of the outside world?
You are kind, Brioche, but there are much more important matters at hand. But before we begin, there is one thing I must say. You don't mind, do you, Brioche?
Is that yes I mind or yes I don't mind?
Clearly your judgment on this matter is faulty, Brioche. I must speak. I have discussed this with none but Brioche, but I have my own reasons for this quest.
What do you mean?
Only that I have my own reasons for wanting to see the beacons lit again.
Why are you telling us all of this now?
Because I feel this quest is deeply linked to Lemuria. I thought it odd that Lord Babby should order me to research alchemy.
Hey, wait a minute. Is this what you promised to tell us once we reached Lemuria?
Yes, may I continue?
A sass from this old man now. Maxting.
I intend to light the world's largest joint on them. It's my life's goal.
I have no idea why that's tickling my ribs so much.
Long ago, before alchemy's power was sealed, there were many civilizations that advanced and cultivated as Lemuria. At the moment that alchemy was sealed away, most of those civilizations began to wane, until eventually they vanished. I have formed certain theories now, suggesting that this may be related to the seal on alchemy.
Let me get this straight. You felt you couldn't tell us this until we were in Lemuria? And you only wanted to come to Lemuria to test your theories and see if they were true? Even if everything you said is true, what does it all mean?
If your theories are correct, the world itself will wane and vanish, won't it, Kryn? Pierce never spoke of this to you, did he?
Maxting. Now you want to kind of want to make a gnome who's actually kind of like that.
A red dragon, please finish one. Light this. It's my greatest wish.
Okay. Problem is, the stuff like Greatest Wish, Deepest Dream, all that. Now, thanks to the Amazing Digital Circus, all I can think of is, it's always been my dream to be eaten by you.
If you came to this theory on your own, you're indeed a wise scholar. We would do well to trust you. What do you mean?
Exactly, Maxting.
What a weird thing to say at once. King Hydrus and I, as well as others in Lemuria, hold the same beliefs that you do, Crane. You do? Civilizations thrive by building on the knowledge of the past. Knowledge gained in one generation should be taken even further by the next. Thus, knowledge and learning continue to grow. This is the natural course of civilization. But where is the world today? The great civilizations of old have all withered and vanished. We're all isolated and alone. You've encountered many cultures on your travels. Are any of them capable of building the great sanctums and lighthouses you've seen? No, they're not, but this is not the only sign of the decay you have theorized. I think it best to hear the rest of this directly from His Majesty King Hydros. Yes, Graydon, we shall go to visit the king. Oh, but King Hydros is in consort with Lord Conservato. We might not be allowed in. Conservato, that fool. He refuses to acknowledge what he can see with his own eyes. We'll meet with the king and press our evidence upon Conservato. Come with me. That stupid door. Ah! Ha! At last you're open. This guy's angry. To the king's chambers.
Lumper ought to be as old as Lord Babby was. He has so much energy. He's got fire in him.
I do wish I could have heard more about Lord Babby, though. But come, Brioche, to the king's palace we go.
Brioche searched the bookcase. I found a letter from Babby. On the outside it reads, "To my dear friend Lumper." Babby wrote, "Forgive me, Lumper, but I must leave the island without you." There's a book called The Great Adventures of Lumper, written by Lumper, no less. When the Great Flood came, we fled our homes by boat. Waves engulfed our ships. We came into a strange land called Lemuria. Maxting, you have friends into that who weren't entirely thrilled with that joke. Shrugs, there's certainly things you want that are weird. So you don't think to read it as critical on the narrative level per se. Yeah, I think the joke was basically just that Jax was trying to come up with an excuse on the spot. And it was one that basically made no sense. I kind of have a hard time believing anything a trans woman who started her career on Newgrounds would be shaming kings like that. So how weird, you'd have thought Pierce was around here somewhere. Maxting, once Morrowind who softlocked the game at the end because there was this heart that was supposed to be impossible to kill without hitting it multiple times with the sword that makes it resound like a bell. Yeah, wasn't that a DLC? But you adapt your strength of alchemy until it was in the 5 digits, so you accidentally killed it in one blow, and the game wasn't programmed to accept that. So maybe alchemy isn't such a good idea. Oh yeah, in the Elder Scrolls, Morrowind and Oblivion, the alchemy mechanic's completely broken. Because you can basically, well, first you can make something that enhances your alchemy. Then you can craft something that then you can take it and craft something that enhances your alchemy. Rinse and repeat into a constant upward spiral. Same with enchanting. I think Skyrim nerfed it a bit to stop that, which is kind of a shame. If you seek the counsel of His Highness, the King, follow this passage to the doors at the end. Oh dear, using synergy in the palace of the good King Hydros, what ill-mannered buffoons.
His Highness never leaves a meeting with Conservator in a good mood. Good luck. His Highness the King is the most temperamental, which is a rare trait in Lemurians. Lord Conservator is a calm and collected, like a true Lemurian. Okay, so he probably agrees that this Conservator guy is kind of a dick. Exactly, Neo. Breaking the games is a time-honoured tradition. It's why Bethesda gets in on it early. Maxting, you want to craft a potion of water walking that made it impossible for you to ever swim again. Which made it, which became a problem when you needed to get something underwater to advance the story. Maxting, Deus Ex has some fascinating little game breaks. King Hydros is the wisest of all the Lemurian kings, but I understand why Conservator and his Senate oppose the king's plans. His Highness is worried that Lemuria will wither away. What a ridiculous notion. Here's a book called The History of Lemuria. An excerpt. Only traces of the once brilliant land of Lemuria remain today. Here's a book called The Elemental Lighthouses. It reads, the beacons of the 4 elemental lighthouses brighten the fringes of Wayyard. Here's a book called The Great Lemurian People. The chosen master of water will be a native son of Lemuria. I wonder who that could be. Maxting. King Hydros is the wisest of all Lemuria's kings, but he's actually stupid and wrong. I mean, that seems to be the prevailing attitude. Here's a book called Alchemy and Ancient Civilization, Part 2. Those who master alchemy shall master the world. Here's a book called Alchemy and Ancient Civilization, Part 1. Through the use of alchemy, civilization undergoes great growth and improvement. Maxting, you imagine it's just lip service is the real point. To be fair, we know narratively that he's correct in what he wants to do, so... Neo, he's the wisest doesn't mean he's wise by any external measure. True. Maybe everyone here is complete enough of a buffoon. Ooh. Lucky medal! He's still in the chambers with Lord Conservator. Why is he granting them entrance? Lord Conservator holds the most power in Lemuria after the king. I don't think he'll take kindly to the advice of outsiders like these. Oh, in the words of the G-Man, we'll see about that. The Senate holds King Hydros in poor regard because he favours Lumper's wisdom over their own. I trust the king. If his majesty is wrong, the fault lies with Lumper, not him. I mean, that makes sense. Kinda. You're Lord Brioche, correct? Apparently. Okay, this guy has the most sprites. It would seem the warriors of which you spoke have arrived. I have no idea what I'm doing with this voice, but I'm going with it. So it would, your highness. I shall call them to us immediately. There is no need, Lumper. Let us go to them. Hydros, would you see me dishonoured thus? They ought to present themselves to us. I do not go to present myself to them, Conservator. I'm merely going to go where they are. I have something I wish to show everyone. Regardless of your reasons, sire, I will not go to them. Do as you will, Conservator. However, we shall go. I heard of your arrival. It's quite remarkable that you were able to reach Lemuria. Welcome. Maxting. Reminds you wonder what the equivalent of OSHA compliance would be for creatures who most of them are capable of flying. Well, Neo, this town has a concerning lack of railings on balconies. That was from... Yeah, well, let me tell you the story about my D&D character grounded. Of Walk. A orange tiefling who was raised by Aarakocra and had to get very good at climbing. And lived on a massive spire that was slowly crumbling away and needed constant maintenance, which she was also responsible for. Allow me to introduce my companions. This is Sheba. Jenna. Brioche. And Kraden. Kraden is the one who told me of the outside world civilizations, of their conditions. Of their condition. Yeah. See if you can spot the reference, by the way. Ah, Kraden, Lumper describes you as a remarkable scholar. Your research impresses us. Oh, thank you, Your Highness. Your theories are correct. Our world is now on a path to destruction. And who has decided this? You, Hydros? Some civilizations have vanished, surely, but that is the way of the outside world. Look around you. Lemuria remains unchanged. Don't delude yourself. Lemuria has been in slow decline for ages now, but that can wait. My most trusted scholars have reached their conclusion after extensive research. I sent Pierce to confirm this for me. So you admit it, Hydros. You violated the directive of the Senate. You used the tidal wave as your chance to send Pierce away, despite our commands. You're incorrect. The tidal wave carried me away by chance alone. Conservator, you must know that the tidal wave was caused by Poseidon's return. Only a fool would have chosen to send a man to sea if he knew that this would have happened. What was it that you intended to have Pierce confirm? This map shows the ancient world when Lemuria still traded with people on the many continents. It was a great age, a time when the world should shine brilliantly. And this is the map that Lunper had with him when he arrived in Lemuria 150 years ago. Maxting, missed the reference, you're afraid? Okay, let me be a bit clearer. So, granted was orange. She was very good at climbing and jumping. At one point in the campaign, she adopted some monsters, the parents of which she slew. And more to the point, she was orphaned and adopted by bird people. And this is the map Lund. Oh, already read this one. I use this map to sail around the world. This is quite accurate. Max, think you might be 2 dits for this joke? Okay, yeah, it was basically a parody of Samus Aran's backstory. Or more, basically, the initial template for her was sort of like the sort of fan version of Samus as a, you know, kind of a weirdo who was raised by birds. Speaking of, I noticed there's more than one YouTube channel that does quite a lot of shorts that take the form of a sort of a players explaining their new character to the Dungeon Master, and the Dungeon Master slowly realising that they've recreated a popular character. Neo, you don't know anything of Samus's background? Oh yeah, it's surprisingly well fleshed out. Like, Ridley killed her parents, so she was adopted by the Chozo. And they genetically engineered her so she wouldn't just straight up die on their planet. And that's why she can jump like 3 times her own height on a bad day. Incredible! You understand, Kraden? What do you understand? Well, unless my eyes deceive me, the continents have shrunk since the Golden Age. That's insane. It is not insane, it is true. Perhaps this will make the point more clearly. Look at these two maps side by side. Beep, 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 beep. Pangea Ultima could never. Hey, Nolus. Oh, dang it, you definitely shouldn't have stayed up so late. Hey, if you want to stay up late, stay up late. Like, I literally stayed up till like 1 in the morning because that was when the rain stops and I could put my laundry out. So it meant I could basically wake up at like 10 o'clock and have it dry by the sun, which rose like 5-ish. Maxting, also why she can use Chozo tech, one imagines. Although that was probably very deliberate as a way to help her get around her new home. Yeah, it's not made entirely clear. Okay, I'm just gonna go through this a bit because that beacon is getting quite irritating. There's no mistaking it. The continents on Lumpa's map are clearly smaller. Lies, nothing but lies. What do you hope to gain from foisting these lies upon our people? You know well, I hope to gain nothing more than the truth, Conservato. And who do you expect will believe such nonsense? Maxting. To catch Nolus up, Pierce's mother died when he was out at sea. Conservator and the Lemurian Senate are a bunch of change-reverse jackasses, but the king is wise and scholars who'd study stuff and needed things confirmed. And you've got work to do, Maxting. Fair enough. Notice 1 in the morning is a decent bedtime for you. Fair enough. Yep, and basically we've just confirmed the world is shrinking without the power of alchemy. Yeah, the name is a bit on the nose, no less. Unfortunately, his far more reasonable brother, Anarcho-Commie, wasn't about. If you do not believe the evidence before your eyes, what do you believe? Do you believe the Lemurian map to be accurate to this day? Oh my god, Conservator's a flat earther. But like this world's version of a flat earther, which is flat, but there's other things going on. Tell me, Piers, you're able to investigate this matter, were you not? Thanks to Brioche and my companions. I like the implication that Brioche isn't a companion. I was able to travel much of the Eastern Sea. And what do you find? I found in truth that Lumpa's map is the more accurate of the two. However, the world seems even smaller now than it appears on Lumpa's map. Notice, not gonna lie, I've been like a quarter paying attention to the plot even when watching from home. Fair enough. What are you saying? Time itself has stopped. Think of Wayyard as a living, breathing being possessing its own life force. The 4 elements are the nourishment needed to sustain this being. Kraden, this is exactly what King Hydros himself has said to me. Ever since alchemy was sealed away, the world has been cut off from its nourishment. It's gone into a state akin to hibernation. By using less energy, Wayyard prolongs its life. Yet, when hibernating, the being has only stopped its own clock, not the flow of time around it. When a bear sleeps through the winter, it needs only wait for spring to come. When it awakens, it can nourish its weakened body again. Nellis, BRB, you should use BR and get food and water. Sorry, food and whatever. Okay, happy breakfasting. But if the spring never comes, the bear will eventually die. Wayyard is wasting away, its continent shrinking, because its spring has never come. Hydros, how can you make such outrageous claims? The world is not alive. Tell me, Conservato, why do you think Poseidon has returned? Do you have the answer, Hydros? The elements are lighthouses. BioShe and his companions have lit the beacons on both Mercury and Venus. What? Have you any idea what'll happen if you set that evil loose upon the world again? Yeah? You know, that could bring about the destruction of the world, and yet you did it anyway. My lord, you can possibly not... My lord, you cannot possibly intend for these people to light the remaining beacons. I do indeed, Conservative. And I also fear the possibility that the alchemy will destroy the world. But I cannot stand by, knowing as I do that the world will wither and die if we do not act.
Okay, some genius tried to save the world by freezing it. Oh my god. They're not flat earthers, they're accelerationists. For those not informed, this accelerationists are, but it's basically a political belief that everything needs to be sped up so it breaks, things break faster.
This is madness, Hydros. Does the threat of alchemy mean so little to you? Would you put the world in even greater danger to satisfy your theories? With only 2 of the beacons lit, I assume you intend to send Piers out again. And I will go. Lord Conservative, BioShe has need of my power. Then go, Piers, but if you do, say farewell, for you will never be able to return. You'll be banished from Lemuria forever. You know our laws. Are you prepared for the outcome? I myself am disgusted by the whole matter. I take my leave of you, Hydros. But I warn you, I will not permit you to go through with this madness. What will you do, Your Highness? I knew this outcome was inevitable. But I cannot sit silent while our world drifted down the path of its destruction. I want you to light the remaining beacons before you return.
That's what we intend to do. We cannot leave the Eastern Sea.
I've already heard from this problem from Piers. This is something I found by accident in some ruins back in my days as a thief. I'm not sure what it is, but it seems to contain some powerful synergy. Seems to, you're not certain. It is synergy that we Lemurians are unable to use. I understand you travel with many different kinds of adepts, do you not, BioShe? If we include Piers in our numbers, we have 1 adept for each of the 4 elements. At least one of you should be able to use the synergy that this contains. King Hydros believes the item can only be used by one who wields the synergy of the Earth. If I'm not mistaken, it was created by... It is a powerful synergy we call Grind. If you master this synergy, the reefs that block your way shall pose no trouble anymore. With Grind, you should be able to create a path by which you can sail the Western Sea. Go, brave adepts! By your hands, may the remaining lighthouses burn bright once more. That synergy is quite powerful. Only a few people can be trusted. That His Highness has given it to you should illustrate how great his expectations are. I have no doubt your journey will be fraught with ever-increasing danger, but we're counting on you, BioShe. Well, the grindstone. I see what they did there. You must sail to the Western Sea. Do not worry about Lemuria. Ignite the elemental beacons. Conservator lacks the conviction to discuss these matters with the people of Lemuria. His Majesty has come to this decision on his own without the counsel of his advisors. That is why I must remain by his side to support his decision. You will listen to Conservator? We cannot let the world wither and die. Go, primitives, by your hands may the remaining lighthouses burn bright once more. My people may not desire change, but I cannot let that stop me. I do this not for myself, but for all those yet to be born throughout Wayyard.
Okay, thankfully that's enough of that voice because my throat hurts so much right now. Here's a book called The Diary of Hydros. Pierce is most definitely still alive. I pray for his safe return. Huh, we're up here. Okay, so there is supposed to be a gin round here. Oh, okay. So apparently, okay. Well, if we're not going to be allowed to be back here again. Wild coat. Raise his speed. Well, better than a jerkin. Bullseye. Another Hestia blade. Sure, why not? Okay, so I think to find the gin, what I need to do is I need to follow the path opposite to the one I used to get here. But we'll try that in a moment.
Brioche, we're setting off now?
Yep.
Then to sea we go.
Piers,
Yes, Shiva, what is it?
there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Something I have to ask you.
Ask me, Shiva.
You and I look roughly the same age, but how old are you really?
Is that your question, Shiva? It's not important.
It is to me. If you're much older than us, then I'm afraid we've not shown you the proper respect.
She's got a point.
Don't worry about such things. Please treat me as you have all along.
No, that won't do. You have to tell us.
What? Come now, this is silly. No, Piers, tell me. You're afraid you haven't shown me the proper respect, and yet you make demands of me. Come on, Piers, you can tell us. How old are you really? This has nothing to do with respect. You just want to know how old I am, don't you? I knew it. Come on, Brioche. Can't you get them off my back? Ellipsy's nuts. You're in this too, aren't you, Brioche? I've had it with your conspiracies. I'll not tell you! Yep, he's basically like this world's equivalent of Atlantean. So I should be able to destroy these. Haha! To be fair, there's probably nothing that's stopping me from just coming back. Nellis, in retrospect, you guess Milo is kind of based. Oh, from Disney's Atlantis, The Lost Empire. Oh yeah, let's go this way. The boss closed it off on the way in. Yum. Okay, let's see. Head to Lemuria, but take the west path instead of the east. Find the dock. Okay, the west path. Okay, so I need to go. No, that can't be right. Find the dock. Okay. What are we at? 2 hours 20 minutes? Oh, I can keep going for a while then. No, let's wait. It had to be thousands of years old? Kida? Yes. Milo? Oh, looking good. Okay, so apparently there's a dock around here. Okay, here's a different dock. Ancient Lemuria. What have we got round here? Okay, I need to use Parch on this water. Or not. Okay. Use Cyclone on the southwesternmost leaf. Must be that one. Oh, there we go. Okay, no Basil. And what can you do? Seal of those Synergy. Nice. Neopets looking ass. Yeah, they have that sort of art style to them. They kind of like Pokemon, except there's only 4 designs. So exactly like Neopets, I guess. Blood Gods. They're better than Pokemons they can combine for cool stuff. It's true. Yeah, there's a whole sort of system. So everyone has sort of like their own element based on their what kind of adept they are. But if you mix and match, you can basically change everyone's magic. So if I give the fire one, well, Jenna, who has fire, an earth, or Felix, who has earth fire, they basically become like a plant class. So on and so forth. So if I give the wind... I get like a load of storm-related abilities. And also the ability to drain health, I guess. Fire and air. It's this sort of wind slash ability. Earth and air. Astral blast. Fire and water, I think, is... yeah, basically a load of explosion abilities, like a steam explosion sort of deal. Unless you think Neopets has like 20, but yeah. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Neopets owned by the Church of Scientology for at least a while? Or at least that's a rumour I heard. Exactly, Nailess. So anyway, now we can follow through, go via the Godwin Cliffs to the other side of the world. But more importantly, I think we can go to Treasure Isle first. But more importantly, we need to go and sell off our excess treasure. Oh yeah, and we should go get that sword de-rusted in case it's something cool. Now, unless you don't know, you only know that some people you're glad you'll never meet put it together. In the battle mode thingy, there's a fight you can do that has a sarcastically high health and does nothing. And from the name, you'd assume it's a tutorial fight or something. Okay, wow. Notice by sarcastically hard you mean it takes hours of clicking on the attack button over and over. Wow. Neo, for some reason your dyslexic brain thought they were selling an angelic instead of an angelic onk. Okay. So... Oh. My controller disconnected for a moment there, sorry about that. Nellis, and they've apparently lowered it from what it was in the past. Jeez. Yeah, so should I visit Yalom or... Okay, so I'll visit Yalom to get this sword sorted out. And then I'll visit the ancient ruins because... treasure. Sorry, Treasure Island because treasure. And I think the new science I've got will deal with the rocks. I mean, I know Kingdom of Loathing's creators turned out to be dicks. Nellis, according to this one article, a Scientology student at one point was involved, but the moment somebody attempted to actually put it on the site, they fired that one and then realised a whole bunch of them had been snuck in. Wow. Wait, I wonder if I can knock that over with Tremor. Because because it looks kind of like the ones that you had to use force on, but... Nope, guess it's force. Corsair's Edge. Okay, it's not as good as okay, only plus 90. Right, just go to Treasure Island as a quick errand, and then we can move on to the entire rest of the game. So yeah, canonically, Treasure Island is where, what's it called? Everyone in Champa got their money from, which is why, all the chests there were empty when we went there. But if we can somehow get past the, trap... Now this hadn't been on Neopets since last year. You went on it purely to make one Oxbox joke, then realised how long it would take to fully make it, and eventually gave up. Okay. As in like a joke about something they said on, in one of their videos, or...
something else. Okay, I don't want to grind that. Okay, we are in. Level up. Ah. Notice you got the small fluffball pet and named it Midcrow underscore Skag Night after the pumpkin puzzle from that one Halloween FMV game. But the costume that makes the pet into a jack-o'-lantern is rare and prohibited and expensive. You just don't think there's any way to pay real money for it, so that's nice. Interesting. Okay, so the only way to... Notice it would take a long time of engaging with the science every day, and even it's games that work and don't suck aren't that fun. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like the big draw was basically just everyone's first experience with any sort of MMO ever. Oh, I know. So if I push it over here... your first experience to a site like that was either Club Penguin or Webkins. You're not sure which you had first, either of which was actually like not a total trash fire of an experience. Yeah, my first ever MMO was RuneScape, and I remember that quite fondly. Although it was also my first experience as presenting feminine everything, and also immediately creeps on, so maybe not necessarily the best of experiences. So I'll need those two to get up ahead, so I don't want to grind any of those. Okay, the Stone Soldier was the dangerous one. I'll remember that next time. Right, what have we got here? Jester's armlet. Is it an armlet that belonged to a blue tiefling? Okay, it's good for Shiva and Jenna. Oh, Shiva's the most caster-based, so... Of course, it's a freaking mimic. Nellis and Toontown. Yeah, Toontown I wasn't really familiar with. Webkins I never heard of. King of Loathing I played, and there was like... Basically what I did was, there's one sort of side quest where your character can switch genders, so I just kept doing that. Not side quest actually, more of a random encounter. Ooh, and I got power bread. Okay, we're here. So we'll just give this a cheeky little shove. Good. Now, how does that actually help? Well, it's a shortcut, I suppose. Oh.
So many treasure chests, so little time. Okay, crafting ingredient. Crafting ingredient. And some money. Okay, so the cookie. Boost maximum PP. Delightful. Okay. No less. Webkins was basically Neopets, but you had to buy a physical stuffed animal in order to subscribe. You got a couple of them, your sibling. Apparently your parents never found out how many your sibling actually had, bought them with their own money from chores. Oh, wild. Well, if it made your sibling happy, I guess. Okay, I think I need to come back here with whatever ability lets me lift rocks. Okay, onward to the next, the other half of the world then. Oh, but before we continue... I'm afraid that was significantly quieter. Lots of nice steam though. I wonder if I can get like an insulated teapot sort of thing. Cast avoid, so I don't have to worry about random encounters for a bit. And we can just enjoy a nice relaxing sail around here. So our target is just down this direction. So I guess I'm just gonna stick with the control stick and sip tea for a while. Oh yeah, so I've been thinking as sort of a quick sort of cosplay side project. I'm going to throw together a sort of well, just like a high effort Catgirl cosplay. I mean, I won't be able to beat the allegations, but it's just probably kind of fun.
Nellis, you missed a couple of the games Webkins had, to be honest. One word game that probably existed in some other form, but was kind of like Reverse Sight of Fellow, but different. The latter exists on Neopets, but you can only play it against other people, and it's like you entered a tournament of it because it looked like literally the only way to play it, and you're waiting days for each other's move. Well, that kind of sucks. Kind of like playing chess by post, except it's the internet, so it shouldn't really be like that. And through we go. Notice the tournament sets aside a week for each game you think, and you're timed out after taking barely any moves. Extremely on brand. Well then. Okay, we're here. On the other side of the world. I'm immediately drawn to this little island, all the way to the west. New enemy types. Delightful. See what they've got. Not much. A Hydra? I suppose that is something you'd encounter on the sea when you think about it. It's not called a Landra. Level up. Okay, nearly there. There's the waterfall at the end of the world. No wonder it needs alchemy to keep functioning. It's just pouring water all over into space.
Okay, is there actually anything on this island? Yep, there's a tiny village. Southwest of Tekka Islet.
The sea west of here spills over into a massive waterfall. You really start to appreciate the grandeur of nature if you see that, I can tell you.
Ah. I need to do it the opposite way around. Now, if you get if Discord has an answer for that one, how it replenishes its oceans. I think it's literally magic. Like there's like a certain background level of magic that keeps the air world functioning. Well, that achieves nothing. Oh yeah, we should probably look inside this tent.
There's nothing to the west of here, and it's really dangerous. You shouldn't go that way. The current is so strong near the falls that any boat caught in it is doomed.
Oh yeah, I didn't read this guy's mind.
My buddy thinks I'm nuts to risk my life for a look at the falls. Actually, I just want to get my hands on some treasure I saw on the way there.
No, this you mean, yeah? But you meant where it came from. The source of it, or did like a weird jellyfish-shaped rain cloud system thing. Basically, I think magic just sort of exists naturally in the disc world. In the same way that gravity does on Earth. Like, I think in the first Watch novel, explicitly the reason larger dragons no longer exist, aside from in the plot of that book, is because there just wasn't enough magic to sustain them. In the same way insects are a lot smaller now because there wasn't the oxygen in the air. What have we got here then? Dragon skin. Scaly dragon hide. Forgeable. Unless you do remember the magic field is why the dawn is so slow. Comes up in one of the witch's books. Okay, I think I need a lift to do something about that rock, so... What are we at? 3 hours? Sport for choice, really. Oh yeah, I think the other thing about the Discord is it also literally runs on narrative. Like, narrativium is an actual fundamental, it's an actual substance. And it causes things to sort of run according to plot narratives. Oh no, we're doomed like New Zealand. Notice they have the whole in-flight refueling of a broomstick, racing the dawn to cover the kingdom too. If you recall correctly, to put it to sleep for some number of years. I think that sounds like... Problem is I don't know the Witches novels as well as I know the some of the other ones. Okay, there's got to be a djinn on this island. The Emu Wars, Australia. Okay, why do I keep thinking it's New Zealand? Hello? Is there a djinn in here? Level up. Maybe there isn't a djinn here after all. Okay, maybe not then. Notice the Descent into Avernus book mentions infernal crabs at one point, literally just giant crab but lazily reflavoured. You can see those populating the banks of the Styx, but you wonder what other kind of fauna would make sense. Most of Avernus is kind of an ash desert.
Yeah. Lizards would make sense in a desert. I guess you could go full Final Fantasy and have like cactus monsters. Not sure, it definitely never rains. Mars Gin. Okay, that should make it a bit easier. There we go. You think there's supposed to be some aspects of like Avernus being or having skin? Like some manner of life? So you think it has pools of blood? Interesting. Core. Strike through an enemy's defense. Ooh, that's useful. Okay, I guess this whole island was just there to have a gin on it. Okay, 3 hours, 15 minutes. I think I'll call it here. At one point in the backstory, it forms a literal scab over a holy artifact. Makes sense. So yeah, we'll get back to exploring next Monday. Oh yeah, of course, Hellhounds. Level up. Anywho. Let's find someone to raid. Nightmare horses, you think it's supposed to be, have the wild ones of those? So there should be some approximation with grasslands. Makes sense. Okay, here we got... Okay, now Old Twin is playing Hollow Knight Silksong.
And I think that's pretty much the only person I really know well enough to raid, so we shall raid her. Oh yeah, quick shout out to Keith, aka KNSD. I'll be on his channel tomorrow for Lancer. It's sort of a mid-license session, basically going to be an RP session, narrative session. So, I'm going to be trying to do several immensely stupid things. Everyone else will probably be having their characters do more pertinent things. Should be a lot of fun. And that's going to be at 7:30. For reference, we're just coming up to 9:30 here. So, like 2 hours ago, tomorrow. You're welcome, Neo. Thanks for dropping by. And yeah, hope everyone's had a good week so far. If not, I hope the rest is improvement. And we are raiding in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And if you're watching on YouTube, as usual, like, comment and subscribe. You're still my favourites.